I greet you in the words of Assalamu alaikum, which means peace and blessings be upon you. And I mention both Jesus and Muhammad's names because they were both messages of truth and reality. Peace be upon them both. And have my co-host with me, Alderman Vergil Jones. Shalom, brother.
Well, shalom, my brother.
Yes, sir. And I have
Shalom.
the queen. Everybody knows here in Chicago and worldwide, but introduce yourself to the people. And thank you for gracing us with your presence on Underground Railroad TV show.
It's truly an honor and a pleasure to be here, to be blessed with your presence, brothers.
Yes, ma'am.
Indeed. My name is Queen Sister, and I represent It Takes a Village organization here in the city of Chicago. We're located on the wild side, where the wild things live for real.
Yes,
We're in
ma'am.
the jungle. The nation has come to know it as the Roseland community.
Okay, and want to just start it out by saying, what, in Chicago, there's a lot of crime that is going on in Chicago. Okay, people getting killed. It's like the wild, wild west in Dodge City. They talking about bringing in a National Guard.
Well,
okay, and Jody Weiss, is he doing a good job? I'm asking you two questions at one time.
okay. I'm going to say this. It's not as if the National Guard had not been here before. They were here in the early 1900s to deal with the racial issue on the Invisible Line on the 31st Street Beach regarding the Irish and the blacks. That's the 80-year-old Irish grudge that we're still being held under today. And regarding that issue, because you're on the subject of the mayor, regarding the mayor, and I know you're going to know how
Somebody
I feel
calls
about
him
him.
a leprechaun.
Yeah, he is.
I don't
He's,
know. I heard.
Well, he's a leprechaun, because he come from a whole line of leprechauns. His daddy was a leprechaun.
Yes.
He started throwing the nuggets and creating the pot of gold that we see so many black preachers and so-called leaders compromising themselves for today. But he's been reduced to Lil Dick Daily because we're getting screwed daily. That's the bottom line. Not only are we murdering one another and killing each other,
Yes, ma'am.
because he keeps saying dying in the street. You die of natural causes. We're not dying. We've been infiltrated against, and it's just sad that he's created an organization of African American infiltrators to infiltrate on African American communities and black people.
Out there, do you?
Well, there's several of them now.
Okay.
It's not just one,
Okay.
but there is the energy of a trinity, and that is Mayor Leprechaun Dick Daly and Jody Weasel.
Wow.
And the suckers that you see on the street. For Gary Sluckin, the experimental scientist that comes out of the University of Chicago, who is also well known for the experimentations that he's done in Africa.
Wow.
And that is Gary Sluckin.
So this isn't the first time that the University of Chicago has done stuff like this.
Well, that's what they're known for.
Back in the 1960s, they had something called the Chicago Streets Program with Booze and Salone Ice and John Ray and our friends at the Woodlawn Organization. All right?
Yeah, Step and Fetching.
Yes, yes.
I know them well.
Both of them.
Yeah, I know them
And
well.
you see, I remember a speech by Dr. King when he came to Chicago.
What's the name of it?
When he talked about how he came to Chicago and he went and met with the street gangs.
That's Judging Others.
All
Dorothy
right.
played that
Right, but-
today,
and,
and I've been searching for it all morning. Let me share. But let me say, we got a short time. We got a lot
You
to
can
get
get it
into.
at, I'll tell you after the program.
Would you please?
At a bookstore over in Hyde.
Tell everybody.
No, we
So-
can't.
Oh, we
At a
can't.
bookstore
Okay.
in Hyde
Park.
Park. All right.
Gotcha.
There's a Moorish bookstore there. You could find it there.
Okay. A Moorish bookstore in Hyde Park. Through selfishness, no one prospers. Each one reach one and begin to teach one. But you spoke of the National Guard. What puzzles me is that we felt the energy in our community escalating, and I took my summer job program from last year
Yes.
and flipped it into a Village Vanguard program when Spencer Leak and Ed Gardner and Black on Black Love initiated the first letter to call the National Guards. The only requirement is that they recognize the color as being black and the sign as being love. In the village, all is welcome, so whosoever will, let them come. I knew that they would have no problem, or shouldn't have had any problem, with the young guys standing up and taking responsibility for the community on the corners, because they had no problem with the young guys standing up and creating dissension in the communities when slinging their narcotics on our streets. I had over 150 young men up as early as 7 o'clock in the morning. Wow. From 99th and the Expressway all the way down to 117th, from State Street over to Vincennes, on safe passage, community awareness, and sexual predator watch, because we have